sisters, those who take life serious and those who don't take life serious. How are we doing today? Ugh. Life is beautiful when you stay under the umbrella of life. And I know when I say things like this, some people do not understand what I mean. What I mean is that peace only comes to your life when you accept or you align yourself with life itself. I really appreciate the fact that there are times in life when things do not necessarily have to go your way, and it is a blessing. I think I had few experience yesterday, and part of my experience was that sometimes you put yourself and you ask yourself what's really going on. You want something to go exactly the way you plan. And sometimes life has its way of saying, no, things don't necessarily have to go the way you plan. And sometimes life might most likely be telling us indirectly that the reason why things are not going the way we plan is basically because it wants to correct us or to align us properly to the other aspect of life. Either it wants to evolve us, it wants us to grow to be better people, it wants us to evolve beyond the sentiment of mindset that we have, or it wants to reveal itself in a different way to us. But every time we deny life and we think that it must be our way, simply because we are being told that we have to be very resilient with life, consistent with life, we get upset when we don't get the results we want. I will put it in this perspective that might be easy. There are some people who have reached out to me and they say, I kept trying one thing over and over again. I am very consistent and dedicated to what I do every single time. But regardless of the fact that I am consistent in what I do, I'm not getting the results I actually planned for. The result I'm expecting is not coming to me. And I kind of look at those people, I said, being consistent and being resilient doesn't mean life is going to give you exactly what you are expecting. If you think your consistency and resilience is going to make life give you what you want, most times you are just being delusional. Consistency and resilience is not the key to make life give you exactly what you want. But opening your mind to the possibility of growing and learning. When you open your mind to the possibility of growing and learning, you can see bit by bit what are the things that you're not getting right. Opening your mind, not putting your ego first. Opening your mind, not assuming that you know it all. opening your mind to realize that you are imperfect and there's one more thing you need to learn in life. You might be in a stage of bliss. You might be in a stage of things have been working in certain areas in your life for a very long time. And you know, the beauty about life is when things are working for you perfectly, one thing definitely comes into the spirit of mankind. Ego. Ego. There is no one that has ever existed on the surface of this earth that things go according to how they plan it to be, years after years, months after months, days after days, and ego is not going to find their way to come into their life. There is no single human being that has existed on the surface of this earth. You begin to think you know it all. Sometimes it's a beautiful thing when life kind of come to us and tell us, hey, guy, it's time for you to open your eyes to the next level. There's always a step for every individual. The problem is, rather than people to open their eyes to the possibilities of what they can learn, of how they can grow, some of them resort to bitterness because they say, I have been consistent over and over. I've been resilient with the situation over and over. I am expecting a result over and over. Good morning, CC Motion 1998. Good morning, sir. When you don't open your heart to the possibility of what you can learn or what life is about to teach you, because some people think the life they actually own or the life they actually live is their own. Countless of times you hear people say words like, let me live my life. Let me live my life. And when you hear people who say the things of let me live my life, most times it falls under the idea that they think they own something. No wonder they will see a house that they bought. Maybe they are privileged to be able to have the house. Then they say, that's my house. And subconsciously and consciously, they attach their identity with a house owner. I own a house. This is my house. Then they have a car and they put their identity with the car. I have a Hilux. That's my Hilux. Then they have children and they say, that's my child. I have a child. That's my child. I tell you exactly how I want you to go. You have to listen because you are my child. Until life knocks you on your face. What? You own nothing, including the body you accumulate. And the sooner we realize that our life is just a gift to life in the physical, and it is just there for it to serve every other thing that exists before it and that will come after it. Our perception would most likely be different. Our openness, our softness in heart, our peace, everything is going to change. I remembered I was like maybe about a few days when I was on live and I'm on live and I'm speaking. Thousands of people might join me sometimes on live. I've been on live sometimes 13,000 people join me live, 16,000 people join me live, 6,000, 10,000, all those things join me live. And it came to a point where I asked myself, 800 people joined me live. And then my wife was asking me a question. She said, "Is anything wrong?" I said, "Must something be wrong for me to experience failure?" Nothing is wrong. Life is trying to show me something. And what is life trying to show me? There's something I need to learn. Maybe I need to learn something about the algorithm. Maybe there's a celebration going on. And then even yesterday while I was live, we have very few people that was live with me, and I still express myself joyfully. And I did everything I can. And I did everything I can to have communication with my audience simply because I understand that it is a service to me. Are there things I need to improve on? Definitely. Are there things I have to learn? Definitely. But if I do not understand that there is something I need to learn, that there's a possibility why things are not going that way, that there's a possibility why the audience were not much online, that there's a possibility that there's things that I haven't studied or learned about the algorithm, then you know what it brings inside of me? Provocation, anger. What's going on? Then some people say, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. Consistency is beautiful. It's good. It makes you resilient. But that's simply because you're still expecting a result. It's a possibility the result wouldn't come. Why? Are you opening your eyes to the adjustments that life is trying to inform you on? Because every time you learn, you rarely get bitter. If you learn things in life, you rarely get bitter. And that opens my mind to the conversation we have. I know Creed is here right now. We had a conversation yesterday. It kind of hurt my mind in a way. I felt a little bit hurt. And why do I feel hurt? I feel hurt because I see people getting hurt by themselves. I see where people, in this life sometimes, you see a lot of people hurt themselves, thinking they are hurting other people. When one of the blessings God has given to man is that we are supposed to experience every aspect of life that aligns with nature. In fact, when people talk to me about God, I just tell them, see, God is an invention of mankind. Man invents God. Does the divine exist without man? Yes. If the whole world died today, if all the whole human beings die today, the earth is going to flourish. In fact, the earth is not flourishing because of mankind. We are the one killing the whole animals, killing everything because we think we are the kings over all animals and the rest of it. I think if all human beings die, earth will flourish. Trees will grow everywhere. Animals will be bountiful on earth. But our ego, due to the perception and the lies that came from certain books that some people read, make us think we are so important. And then we cut every other life force on earth just to please ourselves. Now, the idea about life is so that we can live and communicate with ourselves. And human being for thousands of years, everything we have been doing is to find a way to communicate with one another. We have tried to improve our communication skill. So if you speak one language today, tomorrow they change another English language, they improve it. When you say some statements on YouTube, they block your statements. When you write certain things, they block it. Why? They want us to be able to speak in a more acceptable manner so human being can always relate with understanding. These are the techniques behind it. When people say freedom of speech, I just laugh. If we are truly free to say whatever we want to say, which we are in a sense, and it is our right, at the same time, If we all say everything that is within our mind, there will be chaos everywhere. Let us not be ignorant of that fact. Do I support freedom of speech? Absolutely, I want freedom of speech. But I know if every single one of us say everything in our mind and we say things exactly how we feel, there will be more chaos than there will be peace. So I see the good side in every bad thing, and I see the bad thing in every good thing sometimes, which is certain people resist freedom of speech simply because they want people to please certain individual. And I think sometimes they go too far. Absolutely. But why we have been able to struggle as mankind to be able to create a platform where we all can speak and at least we can understand to a certain degree. Despite the best communication pattern human have ever had since the beginning of time, now there's more separation among us than the unity among us. During the days when there are different kind of tribes and everyone speaking different languages, most tribes are united, most communities are united, most villages are united. Now it comes to the fact that a lot of people, we all speak almost one general language. I'm a Nigerian, you might be from US, you might be from UK, you might be from Canada, you might be from Australia. Right now, the disparity among us is so huge. Humans are doing something wrong. And then you ask yourself, how come do certain individuals get so bitter? And we neglect every aspect of life, because I think that the purpose of life is for us to experience a lot of things. And now we are not experiencing those things simply because things did not work in our direction. God hate on children, hate on men, and I hear men hate on children, hate on men, and all those kind of stuff. And everything about life at this moment is all about individuality, because things have to work according to your way. And if it doesn't work according to your way, then it simply means life is against you. I do not consider that to be a stupid mindset. I don't think it's a stupid mindset. It's just like, why are we suffering ourselves more? Even when life has tried its whole best, humans have struggled countless of years to make sure we all come together. The best thing this generation has been able to do with all the struggle of our ancestors is to find a way to hate every single thing we have ever fought for. I hear women say men are no shit. Simply because they are in certain relationship and the relationship did not go according to their plan. Men were working in the workforce. Now women are educated and this and that and that. And all I just see every single time is bitterness. Bitterness on different scale. Same thing with men. Same thing with individuals. And I see the fact that we are all, majority of us, we are all disconnected. Rather than us to look at life and ask ourselves, if the result of what we are experiencing in life at this moment is not going towards our direction, there is a problem. And the problem is simply because we are not open to learn the things about life. We are not open to see that when life is trying to teach us something, we have become stuck at the back of our mind. In the name of knowledge, we have become one of the most ignorant people on the surface of this earth. In the name of education, we have become one of the most unhappy generations of this time. Does it add up? Education was supposed to be for people to get liberated. Now education has become the bondage that has held people down. I am a PhD. I am a BSc. I have my document and the rest of it. And then some of them would even say, I love children, but I don't just want to have them. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You love children, but you don't want to have biological children. That's beautiful. It actually makes sense. That's exactly what love is all about. I love what I don't want to have. And you think you're fooling society? We are so good with our words to lie to each other, to fake things. Whenever people say, I love children, but I don't want to have children. I love men and women, but I don't want to get married. I kind of ask myself a question. I'm like, that sounds good. You want to be politically correct. Peter Dabaik is asking, what country am I talking about? I'm not talking about any specific country. I'm talking about humans. Kiwi says, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. I think in the name of information, people so much focus on the information that they forget that information actually exists in nature if you understand the principles of what governs everything that existed before you. When we talk about history, we talk about the things that existed before mankind. Any human who focuses on information of today and the possibility of tomorrow, but does not look into yesterday, is a fool. And that's the foolishness I actually talk about. Information is actually a choice. But I think that the reason why humans are failed today is basically because most people focus on the information of today and they focus on the information which is the possibility of tomorrow, and they ignore the things of the past. And every time you ignore the things of the past, the principles doesn't change. You are so ignorant that because you have a new information, then the principle of the past is gone. You are joking. My mom will say you are jokulali. No wonder. Wisdom is a principle of the past that exists till date. Some people will say it's the application of knowledge. What they've known in the past, applying it today. Today, we have so many educated and informed people who are so ignorant of the principles of life. And at the end of the day, they just struggle for nothing. I see people struggle for nothing. Build a lot of house and lack peace. Build a lot of mansions, have too much money, yet they can't even experience life. Freedom in bondage, bondage in freedom. And some people say, you can't have it all. That's your possibility and that's your own reality. You can have it all. I have it all. Do I know it all? No. But do I have it all? Yes. Yes, Kiwi got it right. We are forgetting our human nature. We are forgetting our basic needs. We are forgetting what actually makes us humans. You know, we used to say our parents, our ancestors were barbaric. Right now, what are we? Hatred galore. hatred everywhere. The only thing is now we hate ourselves in a civil way. Sometimes I just ask myself question. I'm like, why are all these simple things so difficult? Why are the simple things that makes us who we are, the basis of who we are, why are they so difficult for humans to be able to attain or understand? And one of the things that I've been able to see is that these days, our journey of this humanity that this present generation, a lot of us are driving without using our side mirror. And the purpose of the side mirror is to look at the things in the past. Right now, we are just focusing on the things that is before us at the moment. When I use the word and I say I have it all, what I simply mean by that is whenever things does not go in my way, I understand there's something I need to learn. And I have to understand also that I do not have the power to control everything in life. Good morning, Who the Truth? Creed says civil hate. Yeah, Kiwi says, I say that we are all detached, not everyone, but a good majority. Absolutely. I most times quote the quote of Bob Marley that says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. You know, most times when we talk about mental slavery, some people think that mental slavery is about the colonization of what they've actually done to maybe Africans or few countries in the past. That's only the basic understanding of mental slavery. Mental slavery is a victim mindset. And one of the mindset of a victim person is everything is happening to me because of this. And the moment you point the finger to something that's the reason, and you're not pointing the finger to yourself and saying, maybe I contribute to this particular thing in my life, you are bound to that particular negativity for the rest of your life. Nobody is going to free you. I think one of the things I've been able to do with my life is to find a way to create a bubble for myself. You know, I was on live yesterday and I was being told that maybe the Americans were celebrating something yesterday. I don't know what they are celebrating. Because people do not even understand the purpose of education and information. People think that information and education is what everyone needs to have every single time of your life. If you want to be informed and you want to be educated every single time, you will be the greatest fool in life and you will be the most unhappy human being on earth. Why? In the days of our ancestors, our parents or our ancestors, they might be in their tribe, in their villages and the rest of it. Something happens and that thing is negative, or something terrible happens to a particular person. It takes a while before that information gets to them. And I'm not saying that everything about information age is terrible. I'm just saying a lot of us so much engage ourselves so much with information that we distract ourselves from experiencing life. So everything about it is negative, 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 negative. When we talk about information, everybody wants to be informed about. When we talk about information, really, let's dissect it. Look at it from a good, just a normal way of looking at it. When I say I have information, what does that information actually implies? I have the latest information about Ukraine. I have the latest information about Russia. I have the latest information about Pakistan. I have the latest information about US. Tell me, if I have those lot of information, what am I actually referring to? I am referring to the situations of what is most likely going on there, or what is being invented, why something is being invented, and the rest of it. You wouldn't hear people say, I have information. Just as I speak to you, I have one information about India where they are meditating, because wherever there are peace, people do not see information in that particular environment. People find information in where there's something negative, or where we have to invent something for the purpose of something that is negative. And some people say we are so wired to know things about negativity, and maybe human nature is so wired for negative things. And that's the reason why we're like that. You admit it. You accept it. You think that is what humans are wired for. You never see the fact that humans also have the ability to be peaceful, to be happy, to rejoice in the things that God has given to them. Your education and your information mentality have chosen a path, the path of pain, the path of destruction, the path of evil, the path of what wouldn't give you joy but make you sound intelligent. No wonder we have very miserable, intelligent people in today's world. Sometimes I just listen to people speak English and they start speaking words that does not even help themselves in the name of them being educated. Yeah. Kiwi says, I don't like information too much. Kiwi says, I'm so guilty of that. I love information. The only thing you need to ask yourself is, how long do you think all the informations you have in your life, it only makes you sometimes sound intelligent, and that means you're living for the society, so you sound like you're smart. The real question should be, are you experiencing life to its fullest? Because when things do not work in your direction, are you asking yourself, life has something to teach every single one of us. And what life tries to teach us is that there are things that have been existing in the past, and it needs to exist today, regardless of the fact that we are moving forward in life. And sometimes when we say the word we are moving forward, I'm like, what are we moving to? Yeah, you're right, Kiwi. It says, I love searching stuff, but I notice that it can become obsessive. It is not that it even just because it makes you obsessive. Obsession is one thing. It makes you ignore every other part of life. And when it makes you ignore every other part of life, other things suffers because you neglect them. Perhaps, let's say you have a garden in your house, and that garden, you ignore the garden simply because you are very busy. What happens to that garden? That garden becomes a forest. Let's say you have a dog in your house, a pet in your house, and because you're so obsessed with information, that pet, whenever the pet comes around you, rather than you to appreciate the pet, you find a problem with the pet. The same thing is now applicable today, that just because of information, a lot of people, rather than them to take care of the people who matters in their life, they focus so much on information because they want to look smart. They want to know what's updated. I don't really know. I use my Android phone. I know the amount of application I have on my phone. I don't watch the TV. TV in my house is only being watched by the children. What do I want to hear? Because I I I took some time in my life and I kept watching the TV and I realized one thing. Bad news never stops. And it's not making me experience the blessings that God has set before me. Who the truth says information management should be important in one's life. Can we manage information? Can humans manage information? Maybe there's a different meaning to that. I think what we are beginning to do is to poke nose to know every single thing. And when we want to know every single thing in our life in on earth, how can we take time to reflect within ourselves? Life is within you, but you want to know everything outside life. Everything about life that makes you truly experience life is within you. On Sunday, when I spoke about inevitable suffering, I said that one of the basic reasons why we suffer so much in today's world is basically because while we are going through so much challenge in life, rather than us to reflect on ourselves and ask ourselves why we go through the challenges we go through, a lot of us focus on other people, those who have actually hurt us. Who the truth was not available yesterday. Now, trust me, no. You were not available yesterday. I was on live with Rusty and Creed, and one of our audience also. She's a female. God, see negativity. How this lady was spilling negativity everywhere like Santa Claus. Men should be out of this world. If men does not exist on the surface of this earth, the earth will be fine. The earth will be this. Humans will flourish. Blah, 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 blah. I'm saying, okay, let them remove all the old men. I thank you. The earth is going to flourish. I'm like, how do you get to this mindset? First of all, without anything, we all agree that she's bitter. We all agree that someone broke her heart. After a period of time, she agreed that people broke her heart and the rest of it. Like when someone breaks your heart, you should be reflecting on what did you do to actually contribute for that person to break your heart in the first place? Who did you accept into your life that made that person do what they did to you? In fact, why is it that it is so rampant among the educated people not to be able to get married, not to be able to unite with their opposite sex, not to be able to have children? Ordinary animals that exist. God forgive me with the statement using ordinary animal, but animals, because we always think that we are more conscious than them. Animals that exist, they know things better than us. And we use in the name of information and education, rather than us to have more better life, all we just have is more glamorous things, more materials. Kiwi says, that is true. We are all focused on super negative things. We are all too focused on negative things. We wonder why we are so sad and miserable because of consuming negative information and media. It's simple, my brothers and sisters. You know, the way we humans of today's generation, the way we sound to be smart is to say things that are new. They say, "Do you know what is happening right now? Do you know how to do this particular thing right now? This is the latest thing that is actually going on." And then we think we are intelligent. I think the most smart people are those who have known how to experience life to the fullest. Those are the people I want to be around. When things are not going well in your life, who do you want to stay around? The intelligent people? Because trust me, most of these intelligent people don't give a damn about anyone. You want to know example of intelligent evil people? Go to some hospitals. Maybe I don't know in the Western culture, but come to Africa. When you have a accident or you are being shot by an armed robber, the next thing or something, maybe the police shot you, something happened, and you are bleeding and you are almost about to die, the doctors will put you on the bed and they start asking, go and get police reports. Go and get police reports until a lot of people will start losing their life. A woman will be so pregnant and she's about to die because she's about to deliver. And the first thing doctors are asking is, we have to do surgery or we have to do CS or something like that. And then you go bring 500,000. And if you don't bring the 500,000, the operation cannot commence. And so you hear people, they say they want to also get married. They say, I want a man at least who works, who earn. How much are you earning as a lady? Maybe in a month, you probably are earning up to $20,000. Let's put that as an example. But now what are you looking for? You're looking for a man who earns $50,000. You're looking for a man who works, who has PhD and STD, HIV, all those documents, all those certificates. That's how you use in perceiving humanity. Documentation. You're not looking for a man who is kind, a man who is loving, a man who is generous. No, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for PhD, BSc, and STD. And then you start screaming, he cheats on me. He's always cheating on me. Maliko Sundaya. How humans, we know how to take pain, we inflict ourselves, we take all kinds of weapon, we beat ourselves, we pop ourselves into bleeding inside ourselves, and then we start screaming, you did this to us. You are the one. Men are the bad people, women are the bad people, children are the bad people. Everything is the bad people except you. You are the good person. And then when you speak to some of them who are miserable single ladies, some of them will tell you, I don't want to have a child because I don't want a child that will come and suffer on earth. How do you know the child is going to suffer? When I was a child and my mom never had anything to give me to eat, I just have to eat whatever I see. And I was very happy. So, did I suffer? Tell me the human being that has existed on the surface of this earth. Tell me one single person who has existed on the surface of this earth who has not suffered. You feel your responsibility. You are so disappointed in yourself that you can't even entrust yourself. Nature cannot even entrust itself with you. You did not even believe in yourself that there's a possibility that you can become human anymore. Why? Your brain have been fried. There's a friend of mine who is almost 40 years, and he said, my father beat me when I was little. My father never took care of me. So right now I'm 42. He was even 42. I'm 42, but I'm not still interested in staying with any lady to have children because I'm afraid. But you are not afraid to pack many young girls to go and be sleeping with them on different bed. You are not afraid to invite young girls in your houses, renting one house to another. Renting house in a year is renting 3 houses. Renting houses from year to year. You don't, that's not a challenge to you. But to have children is a problem to you. That's simply because And trust me, when these people speak, one thing is always common among all of them: certificates. And I don't know. I shouldn't be seeing it from the idea that education or information is the problem, because information is supposed to help. But I think education itself is messed up right now. Education is messed up right now. When things don't go well in my life, I tell people this. I have my children, I have my wife, I have all these things. When my children wake me up by making noise and I'm sleeping, sometimes I wake up initially when my children scream and I wake up suddenly from my sleep. First thing I used to have was headache. I would take medicine, I would go out, I would have to come out and meditate. I would do my breath work. And then I go back to sleep because I don't want to hit my children. So I just go back and sleep and something like that. And then one day he hit my head. That the reason why I was having this headache was simply because I was not seeing that disturbance as a blessing, as an experience. That this is a blessing, this is an experience of my life because these children are still young. These are part of the things that would discomfort me as a parent. Rather than me to acknowledge and welcome this particular time of their life. This time will come and this season will go as they grow. The day I begin to welcome it and I say, no matter how dizzy, no matter how sleepy, tired I am, when my children cry, I know I'm in a season. And that season is I have to be there to help them out. The day it occurred to me, no day they make noise, I don't feel headache anymore. Do I feel tired? Yes. But I have to crawl from my room to their room, crawl to the parlor and just hold them and play with them. The kind of joy it gives you in your life. Why? Nature built us that way. I am not nature. I didn't build myself that way. Nature built me in a conscious mind. That conscious mind, there is a principle of flourishing of generations to occur. That is part of my duties and responsibilities. I am not saying it. When we talk about duties and responsibilities, a lot of people see duties and responsibilities as what we are supposed to do. I see it as what nature has committed to our hands because it trusts us. And when nature trusts you with something, it is a blessing. It is an honor. Looking at it from the perspective that it is an honor for nature to give me this particular thing in my life at this particular junction. Just because nature gives you a gift doesn't mean you are going to enjoy the gift at that particular moment. You might most likely, it might cost you some peace, but one of the peace is that you can either replace disturbance with joy. You can mix all these things. It all depends on the understanding you have. No wonder. There's something I even discovered. I discovered that a lot of miserable people in life, the most miserable people you can talk to me about is most people that are so-called informed and educated people. And why do I say they are the most miserable people? They are the most difficult people for you to convince when they are making wrong choices in life. When they are making wrong choices in life, when they are doing something that does not make them feel happy in life, there is nothing that can come out of your mouth. Nothing you can say with the words of your mouth. Buy them ice cream, buy them cheese balls, buy them, take them to anything. They will still be miserable. Why? They are so intelligent. They know how to defend themselves from joy. Whenever you try to make them happy, they have one principle. They can quote Archimedes' principle. They can quote Newton's law of motion to defend it, to tell you that, the reason why my life is miserable is because second Newton law of motion, when the ball is rolling and you are running mad, this is the reason why I look at it. Then you try to come from another angle. Then they block you with that particular one. In fact, some of them will become religious, go into the Bible to defend why they would be miserable. And so you know what I do? I try to speak to some people. But when I speak and you open your heart to me and you say, I want to listen to you. Some of them would even come to you and tell you they need your advice. When they tell you they need your advice, they don't want your advice. They just want you to waste. They just want to waste your time. They want to make sure that their miserable life, they influence you. You are going to talk till your brain dry up with spit, with saliva. You don't have saliva in your mouth. So you too, you can become miserable. I know them, they know themselves. And then the best thing is this. I give the best I have. I say the best I can. But when I see you're stuck in your ways, what can the righteous do? I block you. Because you chose your path. They say you can force the horse to the stream. You can't force it to drink water. I ain't going to force you. Because trust me, the easiest people to make them happy are the uneducated people. No wonder religious people took advantage of those people. And trust me, I can see the dark side. I can see the bright side in both sides. It's easy to console most people that are not so educated. Why? Because mostly they are still operating on the primary aspect of humans, of the primary aspect of nature. So they are really easy to convince, to take them out of any situation and put them in a better situation in their mind. The only thing about some of them is that they are not conscious enough of their abilities in life. But you see the educated ones, don't go there. Seven says society is nuts. You see all sides makes you nuts. Now, if you see all sides make you free. When you're angry because people are foolish, it makes you foolish. Because how can you be angry because someone else is angry? I only empathize with them. And I try to speak to those who can listen. That's the best I can do. But if you think your miserable life, and I can see all those things, you adopting a miserable life and you nurture miserability into an adult in your life. Some people, things have happened to every single one of us in life. But the miserable explanation and story of some people is older than their age. If they start telling you how miserable their life is, you would think they've been living like Methuselah. They've been living since 900 and something years. Because they know how to nurture every negative side of their life. In a nutshell, there's time and season for everything. It's time for me to keep quiet. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, like and share. Join membership if you can. I have other duties for today. But one of my duties is to make sure that I speak to you guys and open the eyes of those who are willing to see. 7, I know you've subbed. Thank you very much. For those of you who are joining live, please do subscribe. The time and the season for me to do certain things has come. And that time is not for me to be on live. Hopefully, I'm going to see you guys soon. Subscribe and turn on your notification. We are definitely going to see later. At least one wake up, people up, but it's hard. Surely. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye for now. Love you. Peace. Oh.